Well, Theo, you've been here for sort of 5 months or so now, 1 game to go. How have you settled in at this club?
I would say really well. The fact I was at Arsenal for 11 years and then not used to one of these players sort of moving around. I've had to move. My family's still down south as well. They're moving up officially come start next season. So trying to adapt with that side of it if I get the odd day off to go down and see the family and the kids. So that's been probably the hardest thing about the move. As for the football and the guys, I settled in fine. I play with a lot of them with England. And it's football. I enjoy playing football, and that's what it was about. And yeah, they've been really good, and I've really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Is it a very different club to what you knew for 11 years at Arsenal? How does it differ?
That's a very difficult question. There's a lot of similarities, I would say. Because football clubs are run very well. Obviously, they want the best from everyone at the club. Everyone works hard. There's a very that's what every club I sort of would imagine always is like. Arsenal was like the same, and Everton I felt was the ambitions were there that we want to sort of be better than Arsenal. That's the ambition of the club. That's one reason why I came here. I wanted to be part of something special. I think obviously the start of the season didn't go particularly to plan, but the way it's changed, I think obviously since Sam's come in and a couple of signings as well. It's I think Sam's going to be finished 6th at the moment since he's been here. So for me, that's a positive, and we'll see how it goes next season. But yeah, it's I'll say there's a lot of similarities, definitely.
There's been a bit of dissent about the manager, hasn't there? Let's be fair. Is that unfair in your eyes?
Us players, we don't really take, this is our base here, and this is, we keep everything in camp. We don't really tend to look too much on the outside, to be honest. Well, I don't anyway, and I would sure a lot of the players should sort of reflect that sort of image as well. Because we know our job, we know what to do. We're sitting in 8th at the moment. We're really struggling at the start of the season, and we've had a lot of positive results, and we're climbing up the table, going in the right direction anyway. And I always think it's important to end the season well, and we don't want to be having your flip-flops on, as people always say. I think we want to end the season well against West Ham, because I always believe if you end well, you can start the season on a positive. Yeah.
When you look back, and you weren't here in fairness, but when you look back at the summer, I think the fans' expectations were, they saw no expense spared spending in the transfer market. They saw this new stadium on the horizon. The expectations were very, very high. It never went well for them in the first part, as you say. And do you think that's probably at the bottom of the frustrations and the fact that they haven't seen that come to fruition?
It's probably not fair for me to comment, really. I think that's obviously us players, we want to go and just enjoy playing football. Me, obviously, I wasn't here at the time, so I can't really reflect on how it was around the place. Since I've been here, I've just seen all positives. I can't argue. Like I said, we've climbed at the table. We're getting points. We're getting results. We're being a bit more difficult to beat. But yeah, I would get a sense that seeing Everton Football Club down in the bottom 3, no one ever wants to see that at all. As a fan, you're going to be frustrated and confused with what's going on, and obviously the plans with the stadium, which I've not seen yet really actually, but I've heard some good things. So yeah, it's going to get fans excited, of course, definitely. That's what it's about. It's about the future, next generation of players coming through as well. And now I'm part of that. Before that I wasn't, but now I feel that I can help this team progress to where I believe it should be anyway.
And as someone who's played in the top 6 for some time now, what do you think?
You say top 4, wouldn't it?
Oh, well, top 6. Yeah, well, it was.
It is, yeah.
But how do you think this? What does this club have to do? Do you think to start challenging that top 6 teams?
Well, I always think you have to have a good base. You just, if you don't concede many goals, you're gonna win games 1-0 and you can play a scrappy game and win it 1-0. People don't really remember how you played. It's the results. It's the points in the end of it. So there's a lot to learn, I would say, still. But yeah, so I can see a lot of signs of being a lot more competitive and hard to beat, and we just need to obviously put it in the back of the net a bit more and create more chances. But that comes with time, with players getting to know how to play with each other again. And like I say, I've seen a lot of positive signs, especially at Goodison Park. I feel very strong there, and the Everton of old was, me when I was at Arsenal playing at Goodison, it was always a horrible game to go and play, and I just get the sense we're trying to get that feeling back again anyway, I believe. Like I say, since I've been here, I've generally been so positive because it's been a new challenge for me. I've been I've just been wanting to play football and enjoy it again, and I really have, yeah.
And you're amongst the goals again, you're amongst the assists again. Do you feel good about your play at the moment?
Yeah, no, I definitely do, and not just that side of it as well. I think the whole game of working hard for the team, defending well, going forward well. The amount of games that I've played up to the point as well, at the level, sort of the amount of running I do is quite incredible. So yeah, I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased considering that it was a very difficult move for me. I felt it was the right thing for me to do. And like I say, the most difficult thing is my family down south. So that's been the hardest thing. So the fact that I've had to cope with that side of it, when my family are up, I'm sure you'll be a better Theo Walcott next year. I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah.
I must ask you about all the speculation regarding Wayne Rooney. Obviously, nothing's been decided yet, but should he move on, what impact has he had on both Everton, do you feel, and also the Premier League and this country?
Massive. The legacy he's brought to the Premier League, the goals, the trophies, everything he's done at United, England as well, and here. Incredible player. If he chooses to move on, obviously I would love him to stay. I remember having the conversation on the phone, and he was one of the main sort of players that got me here. So I'm grateful for that, definitely. But if he does choose to go on, just got to wish him all the best, really, and him and his family. I think he doesn't need to prove anything to anything anymore. But let's wait and see. Like I say, I'd love him to stay there.
And looking at Sunday, it could have been a very different story, I think, couldn't it, a few weeks ago when West Ham looked like they were still in trouble. They've got out of it now, thankfully for them. I guess it takes that little bit of edge off the game, doesn't it, Sunday?
I don't think it does. I really don't think it does, no, because us players, there may be some thinking like that, but me, I generally feel like it's, you want to progress, you want to win. They're going to want to, especially they're at home as well, they're going to want to obviously put on a performance for their fans at home and to end their season well. So it could be quite an interesting game. It'll be very open, I'm pretty sure of that. And yeah, I think you won't have players looking after themselves, just knowing it's the summer and the World Cup ahead. I think it's, you got to be professional, you got to compete, and we'll be competing without a doubt. The managers sort of bat that into us, so you can't let off. You can't.
I must just finally ask you about someone you know very, very well. His last game for Arsenal, Arsene Wenger. I mean, we've talked a lot about it over the last few weeks since the news was revealed. But what will he be feeling tomorrow? On Sunday. What will he be feeling, do you think?
Oh God, who knows? He's the only man who can answer that. But me being at Arsenal for half the time of he was, the man he's given me my career. He started off my career really at Arsenal, without a doubt. The faith in me, can't thank him enough. Obviously, he's just been incredible manager for so many years, and to be at the top of that level, to compete, he just says it all. So I'm sure there'll be a few tears. I'm pretty sure it's one of those probably won't hit him. To be fair, when I left Arsenal, it didn't really hit me until a few weeks later when I went there and played against them. It hit me then, really. So I'm sure when he sits back at home and watches the game again, because he will watch the game, because that's what he's like. He loves football. Football's his life. He's always had that, and he's always going to be open to Arsenal, and it's the great thing. He's always there for advice for any old ex-player. I always keep in touch with him as well, because that's the man he is. I'm so grateful for that. But yeah, he's had an incredible career, really has. And it hasn't stopped. I don't think it's stopped.
And to stay a gentleman all the time in football is quite a difficult task, isn't it? But he seems to have managed it all the time.
Yeah, especially when all you guys come at everyone. He's always got time for people. Always has time for people. His office is always open, and that's the sort of man he is. And yeah, he's the first one at training ground, last one to leave every day. He loves football. That football is his life. And that's why I don't feel like the Arsene Wenger sort of reign is over as yet. I really don't.